Oh no, there's plenty of time. There's nothing on schedule.
Okay. So the soul shards we talked about up till now are contracted by mutual relationship. There's also soul shards that are not supposed to be gone, or they're being held hostage, either by someone that you had a relationship with or some place you were at that's like holding on to them, or because you just don't want to get away from that place. You have a very strong, passionate, connection with some place. Bless you. Some typical examples of this kind of a soul shard situation is if there was your first great love when you were young, and then this person was not good to you, or for whatever reason, no, okay, there's something, for whatever reason, your first great love, you ended it, maybe because you were teenagers, and then you got older and got married, had kids, but there's a part of you that still remembers your first great love and maybe keeps you from committing 100% to your current relationship. So this is just like an example. It's an example because I've had a lot of clients with this situation, not because I'm pointing fingers at anyone here. By retrieving the soul shard from the first great love and putting it back in yourself, you're then ready to be 100% for what is in the here and now. If someone has gone through a traumatic incident, you were violated in some way or something horrible happened that created tremendous rage, sorrow, trauma, whatnot, a piece of you may still be caught in that. People with post-traumatic stress, or people who just never quite get over something, and they put like protection around their heart to make sure that never happens again. By retrieving your soul shard that has remained in that incident and returning it to yourself, it can be tremendously freeing of this entire scenario. In this situation, a soul shard retrieval in modern day shamanic work can also be joined with a cord cutting ceremony. So if you have any done work with cord cutting ceremonies, one or the other sometimes can be done together or separately for the same sort of effect. This is okay. On return of the soul pieces, the seeker of healing usually feels an energy entering them. This can occasionally be accomplished by a vision. More frequently, there is a strong emotion on reconnecting with the soul piece. Mostly this is a happy and familiar feeling, a sense of relief, but sometimes the old sadness or trauma will come up again and be experienced once more and then be permanently released during the healing crisis, which often follows a soul retrieval. So this is important to remember. Think about if you have someone that you love and they go off and have a traumatic experience, and then they say, can I just stay with you while I recover? Just their act of being with you will not be enough. You help them with emotionally healing, releasing, you take care of them. It's the same with the piece of your soul. If the piece of your soul is caught somewhere and being held hostage in a way, be it you left it there, or someone is forcing it to stay there, or it just got forgotten, returning it to you, you need to heal the soul, release any part of the residual, situation from the soul, do some cord cutting. A cord cutting ceremony is where all the lines of energy that connects us to everyone and to everything, you cut the cords only that are of non-love. Cords of love can never be cut. The higher vibration the cord, the more it's only strengthened with the act of cord cutting. So if you have someone in your life and you have a mixed relationship, like the typical mother relationship or sibling relationship, and you do a cord cutting ceremony, the non-love energy will be cut away, severed. The love energy will be strengthened, magnified, and made brighter. Whenever we have a family reunion, I do a cord cutting ceremony beforehand. And then, like, all the old arguments we've been having for 30 or 40 years do not occur. We actually have a wonderful time. No one in my family knows. No one has an idea. So, there are different reasons why a person's soul will leave their body. In shamanic work, if a person's entire soul leaves their body, they will die soon. You cannot have a soulless body walking. Generally, and sometimes a huge chunk of someone's soul will leave their body if they have trauma. With the Native American and Mongolian shamanic culture, if someone goes through a trauma, then their soul becomes exploded. And without question, big parts of their soul will not return to their body. So you do a ceremony to help release them from whatever distress they have. If someone is existing in a state of fear, anxiety, distress, part of their soul is not in their body. In shamanic work, that is an absolute. And they go through a ceremony to return all parts of the soul, call it back in. This ceremony can be done different ways. The most common way is the shaman will put the client, the person they're healing, into a meditative or trance-like state and then call the soul shards in. Or the shaman may go on a journey to find out where the soul is being held. And they truly go there. They can know nothing about the person. When the person awakes, the shaman will say, I went to this place that looked like this. There was a person there named so-and-so. They were holding onto your shard from this time. And I negotiated with them and contracted the release of your shard. The negotiation is usually the shaman will give an energetic gift. How about this eagle feather in return for the soul shard? Usually there's a little bit of finagling that must occur. And then the shaman returns the soul shard into the body. The person will go, oh my God, I haven't even thought about that person in years. But yes, so just as like people who do tuning fork healing, vibrational healing, they'll take the tuning fork and they'll bring it close to you and they'll go, oh, when you were 23 years old, there was a trauma. What was it? Because this energy remains and the connections remain. So those who can walk the higher planes or connect in on the lighter vibrations, they can find it still there. The other way a shaman will do perform such a ceremony is to actually become one with the body of the client. And this is actually very dangerous for the shaman to go into another person's body and integrate with them on a soul level. But just as you a little while ago returned up and connected with your higher self and connected with different aspects of yourself up there, the shaman will go into someone and become one with them. So it's then they can see where are soul shards missing. So they'll go, oh, there's a soul shard missing in my heart, and they'll follow the line of energy, call out, negotiate, and claim it back in. This is the ceremony I'm going to ask for you all to do today within yourselves. No one will go in your body. We're all going to stay in our own bodies, but you're going to feel within yourself to where soul shards are missing. Follow the line of the soul shard. See why it is choosing to be where it is and negotiate the return. It may be given to you just for the asking. It may ask, if the whoever or wherever is holding on to it, bless you, does not wish to return it, you ask, why won't you return it? And they may have a loving or a malevolent answer, or they may have just say, it's very comfortable here, or so you may ask, what do you want in exchange? They may want to chat with you. They may be comfortable releasing just with a conversation and closure. They may want a gift. These gifts, feel in your heart what kind of gift this being would want and just give it to them. You don't need to worry about it being on your physical body. It will be an energetic gift that you can create energetically and give to them in place of the soul shard. Your soul shards belong to you. And to be perfectly honest, no one has the right to call them from you or hold them without your permission. It's important to remember that the stronger soul always gets to keep the shard. If you are the stronger soul, if they don't negotiate with you, if they won't give it to you, just, you know what, it's mine. I'm taking it. If you find that that's not working for you, then you know you have an energetic weakness to work on. And that is a journey. That, again, not something to demean yourself for. What it means is that is something for you to investigate. Why is this weakness within me? How do I heal myself, strengthen myself? Do I need the help of a shaman to do this, a hypnotherapist? You know, it could be someone's holding on to the soul shard because they don't think you'll take care of it now until you do some healing. Or it could be that you see where the soul shard is and say, you know what, I'm not quite ready to release this yet. Then you know what to heal within yourself to release this. That is most common when someone you love has passed and you don't wish to release the connection. But what is healthier is to create a connection with them in their higher level, and then you'll find the connection with them from the memory will dissipate and that will return, and you have a much stronger connection with them on a soul level. Do you understand what I mean when I say that? So if your soul is being held hostage with your permission because you can't release the memory and the connection of someone you loved, this is on a physical plane memory. I'm going to use myself as an example here. My mother's parents, they are my heart, soul, and passion. I spent my summers with them. I have more memories of my childhood on my grandparents' farm and when my grandparents would visit us than of any other single group of memory. When my grandparents died, you know, they didn't die together, there was a few years gap. There was a part of my heart that just remained with these memories, but remaining with these memories with my heart kept my heart from being able to move on to other things that could fill the void. So it caused a disconnect in my everyday life with forging new wholesome relationships that would have replaced energetically where this was. I had plenty of wholesome relationships, but nothing that would replace this. When I started connecting with my grandparents on a soul level, I started connecting with them as they are up in the etheric plane. We created, over time, a wonderful, powerful relationship. I know that they are like safe up there. They're doing great. They're watching over me. They're connected with their higher states of being. They're having a wonderful time, and they're watching over me. They're among my guardians. They take care of me. I was able to transfer my energy from here, which has a bit of pain in it because I miss all of this, and bring it up to here, which is only love. By bringing it up here and connecting them with love, we're able to share our memories of what happened with our shared memories from a state of love that keeps my heart open and ready to bring in new relationships. So that's what I'm talking about. This is, of course, the most difficult when your life partner or your children or people that your well-being is connected with their well-being when they pass. Or places, animals, our most beloved pets. You know, these are the sorts of things that come up. When I found my soul shards with my memories of my grandparents, it was not a matter of reclaiming, but it started the process of evolving it to a healthier happier, more fulfilling soul connection that allowed my shards then to return to me. So that's what I mean. Sometimes you choose to leave it there so that you have that while you are working on healing and evolving. Okay. Now I want to speak of, while the shamans see us as a soul within a body, and the soul can leave the body and return, the druidic relationship with soul retrieval is very different, because the druidic, which is of course like Irish, Scottish, and strongly connected with the Viking, the Nordic traditions in this area. The Druids believed that the soul is more fluid, that your soul can leave your body and go into a rock for a while or into a tree for a while, at which point your body will go into a state of slumber until you choose to return the soul to your being. And if part of your soul leaves, you can just take some soul energy from elsewhere to fill yourself. It's a very fluid state of being. The Druidic belief system supported reincarnation, but it was not rigid. There's nothing rigid about Druidism. And that's why when the Vikings came over to Scotland and Ireland, they're like, sure, we'll incorporate with you. And there was a great deal of mixture of the beliefs. And then when the Catholic Church came, they were like, sure, we'll work with you. And the early Catholics, back when they called themselves Christian interchangeably with Catholic, the early Catholics that set up in Scotland, there was a huge rapport between the nuns and the monks and the Druids. And they would attend each other's ceremonies with support and appreciation and respect interchangeably. And in those days, the Christians believed that as it is on earth, so it is in heaven, meaning heaven and earth are the same. And it is our goal to bring them the same. But heaven is the more bright, shiny, better version of earth. So we live on earth as though it is heaven to bring heaven down to earth. So then when you pass, and of course, your early stage Catholic Christian belief had reincarnation incorporated with it. When you finally finish, but it was for a different purpose of life cycle than the Buddhist, Hindu, or what we generally are feeling in the modern metaphysical belief system. They believe you reincarnate for a while until you have done enough connecting heaven and earth that it's just more convenient to stay in heaven. But if you're in heaven, you are also on earth, but in a different form, because it was their goal to merge the two. It was only during like the medieval times when they were trying to really repress the peasants and saying, oh, no, the more you suffer on earth, the better it is in heaven, because they wanted them to pity me in my palace because I'm going to have a terrible time. You'll get to go to the good heaven. So it was more of a political purpose for change. So the Druidic soul retrieval is really more about, oh, where did my soul go? Okay, well, you stay there and I'll pull some soul from the energy around me, then that waterfall and this beautiful green grass into myself. Okay, that feels good and refreshing. It was a very, very sort of lucid dreaming type, flowing, easygoing way of connecting with energy. They believed that my soul within my body was the same soul that was in everyone else's body and all the nature around us. So as you go on your soul's journey, in our next meditation that we need to get to quickly, understand that there's no one way, and whatever your experience is, just go with it. Keep saying, yes, yes, I'm open, I'm receptive. If information comes to you or impulses that are not what you're expecting, just be open and see where it goes. Okay? Okay, so let's get relaxed.